welcome to Sunday Super Service! Hey, so glad you guys could come. Third week of April, right? What are we talking about? Giving you some knuckle sandwiches, huh? That's what I'm talking about. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you know what time it is? It's time for worship. So get off your seat, get on your feet, get your heart right, get your mind right, and let's worship together.
You're my courage, I don't have to be afraid. You're my fortress, no matter what comes my way. You're my treasure forever, yes, we'll be together always. Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh. Even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh. You are with me every single day. Through the darkness, oh, you lead the way. You're my treasure forever, yes, we'll be together always. Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh. Even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh.
Every time I fall, you pick me up. You fight for me, you overcome. You bring me peace, you give me love. For you I sing, to you I run. I praise your name for all you've done. You are my strength, you are my savior.
Ooh. Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. Oh. Even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength, you are my savior.
Hey everyone, glad to see you today. Let's try something new. Let's close your eyes. I mean, everybody, seriously, even mom, dad, whoever's watching this video, close your eyes. Now, I want you to imagine that you're in lunch at school and you're sitting there having a good time with your friends, enjoying some chicken nuggets, some French fries, you know, you gotta have a chocolate milk, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of your eye, you see the biggest, meanest kid in your school lunging at you with a full bowl of chocolate pudding, and before you can move, right on your face, all the way down like chocolate Niagara Falls on your shirt and your brand new shoes, and you're thinking, what's next? What do you do? What do you do? So what do you do? Okay, open your eyes and let's think about this. Do you first spray it back on them? Do you second start yelling at this person? How could you get chocolate pudding all over me? Do you begin to plot in your mind? How am I going to get this guy back? Do you start fighting? Let me ask you another question. who can honestly say that they thought about, was that on purpose? I bet not a lot of you, because instantaneously you thought fight. You thought get back at him. What if it was an accident? What if that person who typically is mean really did trip and didn't mean it? But what do we do? How do we know? See, when it comes to situations like this, we often assume the worst in people. We want to see them get hurt or embarrassed just as much as we are in that moment. Why is that? You see, chances are most of us have faced a situation like that. It doesn't have to be a physical fight, but we probably can remember a time when we decided to fight someone when we probably should have just walked away. So what makes us stay and fight instead? And while sometimes it's important to stand up for ourselves, how do we know when we should stand up for ourselves and when we should walk away? Let's be honest, that's a hard question. When we have a big question like this, where should we turn first? You guessed it, the Bible. You see, the people wrote the Bible, they experienced God firsthand, and when they were inspired, they wrote everything down so that we could understand and have those experiences with them. So let's get out our Bible, and today we're going to look at a story that happened in Genesis, which is in the first book of the Bible, and we're going to see what someone did when they faced this very same incident. It wasn't chocolate pudding. No, it was kind of chocolate pudding. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so we're in Genesis, and we're talking about the beginning, the birth of the nation of Israel. But at this point in Israel's story, we don't see a nation yet, and we only see a family. The nation of Israel started with God calling one man to be his follower. Does anyone remember who I'm talking about? Abraham. Good job. He started out as, do you know this one? Not Abraham, but Abram. But God changed his name along the way. You see, God had made Abraham a promise. The promise was that God would make Abraham's family into a great nation and that he would provide land for this great nation. By the time Abraham died, that hadn't happened yet. God made those same promises to Abraham's son. Do you remember what his name is? You don't? No? Nobody knows? It's Isaac. Isaac, everybody. All right, Genesis chapter 26, verses 1 through 3. There was very little food in the land. The same thing had been true earlier in Abraham's time. Isaac went to Abimelech in Gerar. Abimelech was the king of the Philistines. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land where I tell you to live. Stay there for a while." All right, so let's set the scene. Isaac and his family were nomads. They traveled around, and the place where Isaac was became a bad spot. Well, they had a famine. They had no food, they had nothing to eat, and they needed something to do. Now, in our day, when we're hungry, what do? You go to the restaurant, you go to a store, and you get what you need, and then you're good. But see, Isaac didn't have a grocery store that he could just go down to pick some stuff up. He couldn't just curbside pickup on his camel. I mean, I can't believe they didn't have it back then. No, when food ran out, they had two things to do. There's two choices. You either A, starve, no fun, or go where the food was. So Isaac went to the Philistine king and said, "Hey, Abimelech, it looks like we're moving." Now, Isaac and his family had to up and move. And that's a pretty scary thing, right? Have any of you ever had to move? You didn't know what was gonna be at the new place. You didn't know if you'd make friends. And how would you know if they're gonna be all right? And that's what Isaac and his family were saying. How do we know if we're gonna be all right? Well, look what God told him. After telling him to stay in Gerar a while, God gave the reason. He says in Genesis 26, verses 3 through 6, "Stay there for a while. I will be with you and give you my blessing. I will give you all these lands to you and your children after you. I will keep my word that I gave to your father Abraham. I will make your children after you as many as the stars in the sky, and I will give them all these lands. All nations on earth will be blessed because of your children. I will do all these things because Abraham obeyed me. He did everything I required. He kept my commands, my rules, and my instructions. So Isaac stayed in Gerar. God made a promise to Abraham, and now he was making that same promise to Isaac. Isaac was able to trust God's promises, so he stayed there in Gerar. Now that this was his home, look what happened next. Genesis 26, verse 12. Isaac planted crops in the land. And do you know what happened to those seeds? They grew like wild. So much that Isaac became very, very wealthy. So wealthy that the Philistines living around them became very jealous. And their jealousy caused them to do some really nasty things. Genesis 26, verse 15. So they stopped up all the wells the servants of his father Abraham had dug. They filled them with dirt. What? So it is kind of like chocolate pudding. If you put dirt in water, there's chocolate pudding, but it's not pudding. Don't eat it. It's really gross. So they had these wells dug, and that's where they got their water. So you can't drink that because that's super gross. Now, you know how we talked about you can't just run to a grocery store when you run out of food back then, right? Well, this is the same thing. They couldn't just go and turn on a faucet when they got thirsty. The ancient people had depended on these wells that were dug very deep down into the earth until they hit fresh springs of water. In the desert regions like this, water was life. And the Philistines literally just dumped dirt on Isaac's life source. And that wasn't all. Check out Genesis 26:16. Then Abimelech said to Isaac, "Move away from us. You have become too powerful for us." All right, can we just stop for a second and talk about what was happening? What these Philistines did to Isaac was wrong, and I'm sure he was pretty fired up. And now Abimelech was telling him to move away. Oh, I bet that he was getting ready for a fight. Yeah, let's read and see what happens. Genesis 26, verses 17. So Isaac moved away from there. Wait, what? No fight? Aw. Isaac just moved. That's right. He up and moved. He just got his stuff and he left. He headed to a valley in Gerar and started over. There he found some wells that needed to be redug, wells that went back to the time of his father, long, long time ago. When Isaac's servants redug the wells, they found fresh water. We're back in business. We're back in business. Maybe not so fast. Okay, let's read Genesis 26, verse 20. But the people of Gerar who took care of their own herds argued with the people who took care of Isaac's herds. The water is ours, the people of Gerar said. Ha ha. Oh yeah, it's on now. Isaac went through all that work to redig these old wells, found fresh water, and now they're gonna come along and say that's our water? Well, I don't think so, pal. I don't care who you are, Abimelech and all your friends. We got boxing gloves and wells, right? Yeah, that's exactly. So let's check it out. Genesis 26:22. Let's see what Isaac does. Isaac moved on from there and dug another well. What? He just left and dug another well? Seriously? Man, there's no fighting. Oh well. And just like before, Isaac and his servants started all over without fighting. But let's see what happens. Genesis 26, verses 26. Genesis 26, verse 26. During that time, Abimelech had come down from Gerar. His personal advisor, Ahuzzath, had come with him. So had his army commander, Phicol. This does not sound good. This sounds like trouble's coming. I'll be right back. Isaac asked them, "What do you got, man? What have you come here for me, huh? You were angry with me and you sent me away." Oh, here it comes, here it comes. Let's get it, let's get it. Genesis 26, verses 28 and 29. Abimelech said, "We saw clearly that the Lord was with you, so we said there should be an agreement between us and you. We want to make a peace treaty with you. Give us your word that you won't harm us, because we didn't harm you. We always treated you well. We sent you away peacefully, and now the Lord has blessed you." Whoa! I did not see that coming. I literally put these on for nothing. I thought Abimelech was going to come to bring a fight, but instead, did you catch what he noticed about Isaac? He noticed God. He noticed the way that God had been blessing Isaac and how God was with him. Instead of war, Abimelech wanted to make peace with him. Now, this was a tricky spot for Isaac, right? I mean, they had not treated him very well. Whatever. They filled in his wells, they sent him on the way, and then they took his other wells. I don't know if Isaac would agree to peace. He might want to fight, right? Genesis 26, verses 30 and 31. Then Isaac had a feast prepared for them. They ate and drank. Early the next morning, the men made a treaty with each other. Then Isaac sent the men of Gerar on their way, and they left peacefully. This did not end the way that I thought it was going to end. Now, you see, to us, this might just look like they were breaking for lunch or something, but during this time, this was huge. Meals like this were a sign of peace and friendship. You did not eat with your enemies, you only ate with your allies and your friends. Isaac prepared a feast for them. In other words, he made the decision that he would not fight with them. Instead, Isaac and Abimelech made a promise to one another, a promise of peace. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, there were a lot of surprising moments when I thought Isaac would have to react a little differently. You know, we're putting on boxing gloves, we're ready for a war, we're ready for a fight. But because he really wasn't treated well. You see, when the Philistines poured dirt in his water and when the king sent him away, and then they claimed that the wells were his, I expected Isaac to get angry and take revenge. Maybe even go pour dirt in their wells, or at least take some camels or something, I don't know. But instead, he walked away from the fight. And in the end, it made a big difference. In fact, it led to peace. Now, maybe you've had a similar situation. I'm pretty sure nobody's actually dumped dirt in your well, but maybe you were in a soccer game and the opposing player kept kicking you and pushing you, and you thought it was on purpose and the ref wasn't looking and all that stuff. And maybe they were just trying to get you upset, and it took everything in you not to get baited into doing that. Or maybe it's your sibling. They know just what to say and exactly how to push your buttons to get you all fired up, huh? So no matter what, no matter how much you want to ignore them, you find yourself just wanting to retaliate. You know, it may seem like the strong thing to do. The strong thing to do is to fight, to get your boxing gloves on, let's go. But that isn't always true. Sometimes it takes a lot more strength and courage to make peace than it does to fight. If you remember last week, we talked about either building walls or building bridges. This is very similar. Instead of fighting, we're looking for peace. Instead of building walls and shoving people away, we're looking for ways to get back into a relationship with somebody. We're looking for that reconciliation. We want to maintain our relationships. We don't want to burn the bridges either. Now, if you're like me and things happen to you where somebody might get on your nerves, I mean, it happens to me, it may happen to you, I'm sure it does. What do we do? What is our initial thought? Like I said at the beginning, when that guy smashed pudding in your face, what do? Man, you want to get even. You want to get back to that person. You want to make them feel like you felt. But Isaac actually could have beat King Abimelech. They had more stuff, they had more money, they had more people, and they could have wiped them out. They were actually afraid of him. But instead of using his power to fight them, he walked away because he wanted God's peace. My question for you is, do you want God's peace? I understand that sometimes people get on our nerves, I know that. But what steps are you taking to walk away from that? So I want everybody to bow your head and close your eyes, and I want us to think of one person that we need to maybe reconnect with and offer peace. So let's just take a couple seconds and think about a person that we need to offer peace to. Let's pray. Father, I thank you so much that you give us a way out. I thank you, Lord, that you give us the strength to just walk away. Lord, I hope that you give us wisdom to know when to stand up for ourselves or for someone else, or to walk away so that we don't get in trouble or get into a fight. Lord, I ask that you would give us wisdom and guidance on us wanting to get peaceful in our hearts, to be guided and led by your peace, Lord. Help us to be peacekeepers and peacemakers in Jesus' name. Well, hey, that's all the time we have for today. Guess we didn't get to use the boxing gloves today, and that's probably a good thing. And that's, like I said, all the time we have for this week. So that's it for the show. That's it. We're done. Well, you want to fight me? You want to fight? Huh? Oh, you just want to watch a so-and-so show? Okay.
So Lawson, what do you think?
I don't know, Brandon. Is this really the wave of the future?
Absolutely. We're building way more than bridges here. I've been working on this place for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, but I just liked our normal set.
Normal set. Can we do this on our normal set?
Oh!
See, diamonds!
Wow!
You try.
Okay. Uh-oh.
We always end up on fire when you play.
Help! Help! Hello, everybody. My name is Lawson,
And I'm Brandon.
and this is the So-and-So Show.
Ah, come on. What? How dare you, sir? You are the stooge.
I'm sorry, Brandon. Are we bothering you?
No, I'm sorry. I'm dealing with a troll on this game that I'm playing. Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, hey, well, you just imagine that I am made out of rubber and you, by contrast, are made out of something that is sticky like glue, so that when you insult me the way that you're doing right now...
A troll
what you're
like the mythical creatures that live under the bridge?
But no, a troll is someone who goes on the internet for the sole purpose of making other people angry. They make rude comments on your pictures, they insult your tweets, and they follow you around ruining your game because they think it's fun to be mean. Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, if you think you're so tough, why don't you come on the show and you say that to my face?
What? No, that's an awful idea, Brandon.
Trolls are cowards, Lawson. He'll never show up. Please welcome someone who knows stuff.
Sup, Stooge? You look different than your avatar.
I'll take that as a compliment.
You know it isn't.
Hi, I'm Lawson.
Didn't ask.
All right, you know what? Your quarrel is with me, troll, so please leave my co-host out of it.
Yeah.
I have a name.
Oh, sorry, what is it?
Joel.
Joel. The troll.
That's right. So I spend all day under a bridge making fun of people on the internet. So what?
Wait, you actually live under a bridge?
No, I don't actually live under a bridge. It's near a Starbucks, so I get free Wi-Fi.
I have a question. Why are you the way you are?
What can I say? Water's wet, fire's hot, birds gotta sing. Trolls gotta post sarcastic memes about your lousy gameplay.
Or you could be nice.
And you could be quiet, but here we are.
Listen, I would like you to stop trolling me on the game, please.
Or what? Or what?
Or
what?
Or what?
Well, if I don't stop trolling you on the game, what are you gonna do about it?
I don't know. I guess I'll talk to the game administrators and about having you removed.
Well, I'll just log back in with a new user ID. You can't keep me away. I'm like a fungus. I'm just gonna keep coming back again and again and again and again.
Or
Or what are you, in a rowboat or something? Seriously, do you need an oar? Like, or, where are you rowing? A Port Stooge? I mean, seriously, does this guy have an off switch?
You know what? You can't talk to my friend that way. I would like you to leave, please.
Suits me. Show's a real stinker anyway. A real stinker. See you online, Stooge.
The only real stinker around here is you. That's what I should have said. Maybe I can catch him.
No, don't do it, man. It's not worth it.
You're right, it's not enough. I need to hit him where it hurts. On the internet. I'm gonna post something snarky on every single one of his pictures online. That'll show him.
But won't he just do the same thing to you?
Probably. So I'll hit him again with more sarcasm and more insults. I'll come up with the perfect comebacks. I'll go at this day and night if I have to.
Or
Or what?
it's Bible story time with Kellen.
Hey guys.
Hello, Kellen.
You know any good insults, Kellen?
Why?
I'm trolling a troll.
Oh, I don't think I can help you there, but I can tell you a story from the Bible about Isaac.
Okay, you do that. I'll try not to distract you.
Actually,
Wait,
I'd really like to help tell the story today, Kellen.
Okay.
It's a little movie trailer that I've been working on.
on my computer?
Presenting the story of Isaac and his wells. In a town called Gerar, there lived a man, a wealthy and powerful man, a man blessed by God himself, a man named Isaac. But Isaac may have met his match in Abimelech.
Move on from here. You're too powerful. All right, then.
Hold up. To be clear, Isaac wasn't a cowboy and he didn't live in the Old West. But it is true that the king of the Philistines, Abimelech, wanted Isaac to move further away. Now, Isaac could have stayed. He was certainly strong enough to fight Abimelech, but he chose to walk away from a fight.
Whoa, spoiler alert, Kellen.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Searching for a place to live, for water to drink, he was searching for peace.
Hey! That water's ours. You best move on. All right, then.
Yeah, so Isaac wasn't going around digging wells by himself. He had a whole bunch of people to help him. Now, these wells were originally dug when Isaac's father, Abraham, lived on the land. But whenever Isaac tried to open up a well, someone would come along to fight about it. But Isaac wouldn't fight. And then, finally,
Isaac had found what he was looking for, or had he?
Hey! God is with you. I want to make peace.
All right, then. The good, the bad, and the peaceful, coming soon to a theater near someone.
wow, that was incredible. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, great story. I learned a lot. Isaac was strong enough to fight, but he knew no good would come from it.
Yep. By walking away, Isaac showed Abimelech that making peace was more important than winning the argument. Now, don't get me wrong. It's good to stand up for yourself and for others, but it's usually best to find how to do that in a peaceful way.
Thanks a lot, Kellen.
You betcha. See you guys next time.
Bye. Oh, no. Are you still gonna troll Joel the Troll again?
No, no good can come from that. I'm walking away from that fight. I am gonna block him on the game I play, though. Here,
Good for you.
thank you.
Shall we?
Yep.
Reveal the question.
Today's question is, when should you walk away from a fight? That's a tough question. Maybe you should walk away when the fight is over something small, like who took the last piece of pizza?
That's not small. That's a big deal.
Sorry.
I forgive you. It's also probably a good idea to walk away when someone might get hurt. Talk to a grown-up you trust or try and find a peaceful solution first.
Yeah, peace is the way to go for sure.
So talk about it together. When should you walk away from a fight?
Until next time, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Lawson.
And this has been
The So-and-So Show.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
I'll play this game some more.
All right, here we go. This is great. Don't worry, I watched a YouTube video. I got this.
Okay, are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There we go.
Hey, did you ever have a pencil troll?
No, did you?
Yeah, I did. It was really fun. Yeah.
Wow. That's good. You mean like this?
No, thank you.
What?
Round 3, fight. Just kidding. Hey, I hope you liked the So-and-So Show. Hope you liked our message. Hope you understand that we want to go after peace and not fighting. You can stand up for yourself, but we're praying for wisdom to know when to stand up for yourself and when to walk away. And I bet you the majority of it would be just walking away. So hope you liked everything today. Comment with anything, any questions you have, or maybe a situation you want us to pray for you about. Other than that, we love you. Dream big, shine bright.